So what I'm going to show you real quick is the overall interface that I've created for the Woodshedding Challenge. It's really straightforward. It's an extremely simplified version of the Guitar Practice Tools suite that really just puts the essentials at your fingertips, okay? And it's an all-in-one interface. You can use it on a tablet or a computer. I don't necessarily recommend too much using it on a smartphone, although it is going to work okay on that too. It is a little bit more designed to work better on a computer though. So first off, let's take a look at the interface, okay? As you get there, on the sidebar, you'll see a couple things that I would definitely recommend you take advantage of first, including the PDF practice chart, as well as the sequence cheat sheet. Okay, so both of those definitely something you want to have handy. Print them out, keep them handy. In fact, for the practice chart in particular, print out several of them right off the bat, just so as soon as you run through the first week, you have another one to go to. This is really, really vital for making sure that you stay on track, keep yourself accountable as you go. Beyond that, okay, taking a look at the main interface, okay, diagrams. I've just put the most important things, the most common scales you're going to run into in terms of rock and metal right at your fingertips. You've got, basically, it starts right off with minor pentatonic as the default. Click on the next scale. You got minor, Aeolian that is, natural minor. The next you've got major, natural major, or Ionian. Next we've got harmonic minor, and in the next row, at least on my computer, it's Hungarian minor. It just depends on how your browser is zoomed in. Okay, so with each of these, okay, just gonna go back to minor pentatonic for a moment. You have your main interface, the main diagram, the big one. Everything is in E minor, by the way. You can get used to where it is first and then transpose it as you need to. But below it, you got these little thumbnails. Click on each one of them, and it's going to bring up a different mode of that scale. So all of the modes of each of these scales are already included here. I just wanted you to see that that's a feature. That's actually a function. Each one of these scales has its own mode. All right. So in fact, it'll save what mode you are on. So if you click on the third mode of minor pentatonic and you're working on that, and then you get over to minor and you want to click on the fourth one, you just basically just count through the thumbnails at the bottom, and you'll find mode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe 6 and 7, depending on how many notes there are, right? So you can see where note 4 starts you on minor pentatonic and where it starts you in minor. You can see where note 4, well, by the way, major here, this is G major, so I use the relative major key, so that's on purpose. So that's going to actually be the 2 of the major scale. Harmonic minor, back to E minor, so that'll be your 4 again. So this is one way you might use this. In Hungarian minor, the 4 is actually sharp, so it's actually going to be in a different location. Oh, and for whatever reason I did a Hungarian minor, sorry, a little different, but you'll see that the shape is similar, but with everything that would have been note 4, it's a half step higher and closer to note 5. So anyway, sorry, one place I did not use E minor. I generally use E minor or A minor for all the diagrams that I make. Sort of have a default key. All right, so below that, all right, while you're using this to reference things and just sort of map out where the notes are on your fretboard, below that we've got the Woodshedding Challenge backing tracks. I have taken the 2 most important rhythmic situations you're going to find yourself dealing with basically groupings of 4 and groupings of 3. Okay, and you can use these are double bass beats, so if you're into metal, that'll especially be very useful for you. As needed, I might also add some kick and snare only beats. I'm probably going to do that, and that'll be on another tab here, so you have just 2 players back just next to each other. You also have drones, so similar interface here. A drone is just a single note being played continuously, so these are going to go on for 10 minutes each. So all 12 notes of your chromatic scale can be used as a backing root note, essentially your reference note and the center of your harmony. This is really vital for ear training, as well as understanding the theory side of harmony and just understanding how the notes that you play actually support or clash with the given note in the background, the center of the harmony, and not just for the whole key, but for whatever chord happens to be playing right now. This is really vital for that, and not to mention also for your bending. Your phrasing in general is still going to happen within the context of a certain chord in the key, and that note is the root note It might not be the root note of the key. It might be the 4 chord. It depends on what chord you're in the actual chord progression you're playing in. So this gives you a chance to try out each of the things that you might do in that key, depending on what chord happens to be playing in the background. So this is a really useful way to get used to playing over a certain chord in a certain key. So all of your mode work is going to happen there, and all of your phrasing and your ability to actually bend really well and actually just really intonate your bends is also really, this is a great tool for doing that too. So that's why I'm putting the most essential things here. You need to be able to be rhythmic with your 16th notes and your triplets. It's the 2 most common situations you're going to deal with is groups of 4, groups of 3. 2 major aspects of your overall vocabulary. So that's pretty much it. Now, of course, the community part of it, scroll down a little further, add new comment. It's a simple comments section. This is basically one blog post that's private. That's pretty much what we're looking at here, is a private blog post that you can continually add new comments. Now, you don't have to use the subject line, but there is a browse button here that says post a YouTube video. This is a big part of keeping yourself accountable. Okay, now joining a community of people who want to improve their playing is already a great step in the right direction. Stating what you want your goals to be in the comments is the next step. Okay, this is actually one of the best things for taking group lessons or joining a mastermind group or anything like that, where you join a bunch of like-minded people in a similar kind of goal, is putting yourself out there, not only joining a group that it's all about mutual support, but also stating what you intend to set out to accomplish starting right now, making an actual public statement, or not public, but among a bunch of people, at least saying it to a bunch of people and being seen saying it is so powerful. I really cannot stress enough how powerful that is, because now not only have you stated it to yourself, now you've stated it to other people, and it's that much harder to let yourself off the hook if you decide to just slack off, because you're going to keep seeing these people. So that's why I decided to use the tool of an actual community to actually help you get even better, because that's really what this is for. So on top of that, just to drive that home even further, that's why there's a YouTube link too. I want you to videotape yourself, videotape, because it's 1990. No, but I want you to record video of yourself now, where you are right now, playing each of the techniques that you decide that is going to be one of your goals. So make a little bullet list before you even get started. Just grab a piece of paper and something to write with, and write a bullet list of 3 to 6 things that you specifically want to improve in the next several months. Very, very specific things, not my guitar playing that is not useful or actionable. Something like, I want to improve the accuracy of my alternate picking. I want to stop hitting the wrong string when string skipping. I want to master all 7 modes and be able to solo with the harmonic minor scale. Something very specific, because the more specific you are, the more actionable that is. So that's where the video comes in. Once you have your bullet list, I want you to start just recording yourself on video doing those exact things. Okay, that's going to be your reference point later on down the line. Once you start to make some progress, you're going to look back at that video. That video will be there available. This is also part of your accountability. This is not about being embarrassed about anything. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, because everybody is wherever they are, and there's always room to improve no matter where you are. Everybody's at a different place, so this is not about a competition in any way. It's just, well, it's you competing with where you are now. You're trying to outdo yesterday's self of yourself, just exactly where you were, plus more progress. So all of this is there to hold you accountable to your own goals and make sure you follow through, and in a very supportive way. This is all here just to help you accomplish your goals, and I'm also here to help you do it even better. We're going to get into some of the strategies, which you'll also find on the sidebar. And you'll also be able to basically kind of add those bullet point type lists, as well as I continue to develop the interface. But that's pretty much it. So going back through it again, you have your visuals, you have your audio stuff to actually apply it in a real-time way. It's much better than a metronome using beats, by the way, anyway, but also playing these beats is a more musical kind of way. So as soon as you just hit play on one of these speeds, it's going to sort of guide you to do certain things in a musical way. You're not going to really reach for triplet type phrases so naturally if 16th notes are playing. And likewise, if triplet beats are playing, you're going to kind of reach for things that actually work in that situation. So actually using musical beats, far superior to merely using a metronome. A metronome has done great things for great players, sure, no problem, but beats are better. It's just simply, that's all there is to it. Something more musical is more better. Is more better, and I need to work on grammar apparently. And then of course you have comments, and that's where we're going to interact. That's where I'm going to give you feedback on your comments. Anything that I can do to help you and to constructively improve how you do things, extra layers of concentration that you can kind of add on to additional repetitions so that you can cycle through and kind of troubleshoot and just go through with a fine-tooth comb and look for ways that you can do things more efficiently, more cleanly, more expressively, more musically. All right, so that is simply the Woodshedding Challenge interface in a nutshell. If you have questions, you can always just email me at info@shredmentor.com, and as soon as I get a chance, I will get right back to you. Rock on, my friend.